gaining clarity in your business so you can increase profits by utilizing ChatGPT to interview you and voice dictating to ChatGPT at the same time. That's what we're going to talk about in this brief video. I actually was doing this for a business and I asked ChatGPT a bunch of things. I wrote out like 3 sentences, gave it to it and let it help me make a vision. But then I was like, okay, what are other things that you need for clarity of organization and planning? And so it gave me a whole list of things. And so then I took a specific item like this, where I asked it, I wanted to get my target audience. So I said, what questions would you ask me to help me better define the target audience? So one thing that I have come up with in meetings and calls and all kinds of things that people underutilize with ChatGPT is telling it to ask you questions. So tell ChatGPT to ask you questions to help better define things. It's very good at creating questions, and then the human brain is very good at answering questions, but sometimes much harder to come up with the questions. So it asked me a bunch of questions. I was like, all right, well, this is a lot of questions. And so I said, all right, can you be like an assistant here? I'm going to do an interview where you ask me one question and then gather all of the data. And then at the end, you give it to me all at once. So it's like a back and forth. So I don't have to try to figure out the answer to all these things and put it in this tiny little box and that sort of stuff. So it proceeds to ask me question 1, which I answer based on what I know. And then it proceeds to ask me question 2 and so on and so forth. And then at the end, it gives me all of this. And there's a couple little things I'll have to blur out here because of NDA stuff, but, and so on and so forth. And then I said, okay, great. This is in depth. Can you summarize it? And so I got this. Now, the great thing here is if we roll back to the questions, making it into an interview is awesome, right? You know, can you ask me the questions, be like an interview? So first of all, ask me the questions, now be an interview and ask me them one by one. So this is kind of like building your own, if you were to go to a website and it walked you through a wizard or a software wizard where it asks you a bunch of questions, but it's on the fly. You don't have to build anything. You don't have to do anything. You just, say, hey, can you do this? And it's just on the fly and it does it. Now, I don't want to sit here and type all these answers. So I just grabbed a plugin for ChatGPT that lets me voice dictate right into ChatGPT. And then it will also read me the answers if I want. I turn that off. But voice dictating is really great. It looks like this. I just typed this into Google and I found it, as with all Chrome extensions, use at your own risk, but it's got a lot of great users and reviews. So, and it worked for me with no issues in the security department. It's voice control for ChatGPT. And I just installed it in Chrome and it puts this little bit down here. And if I want to voice dictate, I just do like this. This is my voice dictation and here we go. And then you can see right down here, it's continuing to go, but it does this thing right here where it puts it all in. And then when you're done, you just click it. Here we go. It stuck it in here because it was at the bottom and then it, is giving us feedback. But the point is here, I like to voice dictate things because ChatGPT is amazing at pulling out your thoughts. So basically I can just ramble and it makes sense. Whereas if I were to try to if I ramble it to a human being, they're going to pull off the stuff. But if I try to ramble it out on paper, it just doesn't make sense for a reader. But ChatGPT is awesome because I can ramble, it pulls out the value, and we move on. I don't have to sit here and type. I don't have to worry about, punctuation or spelling or anything. You just talk. Even when I was thinking out loud. So sometimes you read a question back to yourself and think out loud. I was doing that and everything, and it had zero issue with that, which is just completely amazing in the first place that anything I want to do. I was doing this for company vision and then expanding some of the components that you need, such as demographics or such as target audience and that sort of thing. But you could do this literally with anything. You have a need. You say, ask me the questions to help answer this or to help build this or to help me generate or figure out what in the world I'm doing. Then you say, turn it into an interview and ask me them one by one and give me a summary at the end. Then you just voice dictate and think out loud the answers to the questions and you're done. 98% of the heavy lifting done, and you have it. It basically is distilling and clarifying my thoughts for me, which is just amazing. Plus, it's adding its own knowledge and ability and access to information on top of that to polish it out, which to me is amazing. So I wanted to share it with you. You can have even more, and it's easy. There's a subscribe button down below. Find it now and click it right now. And after you click subscribe, click the bell right next to it. And now, here's a couple other videos that YouTube thinks is best for you.